Hi everybody, my name's Miriam Divine and welcome to my update video. This is going to be a little bit of like a day after for tarot reading. We're going to read a few cards, but I'm also going to talk a little bit more about my update. And of course, as you can see, I got myself a new little microphone here, so I'm trying that out as well. And also I'm going to try to do more of these face videos versus just overhead shots. Sure, we'll do a little bit of the overhead shot with, in fact, my candles are not lined up, ow, ow, ow. And for the reading, and I'll put that in there for the reading, but just to give you a little bit of update, you know, for those of you who've been following me on Facebook or YouTube, I am kind of in between houses after getting separated from my long-term SO, and it's been really hard. But I'm managing, I think they're managing, and I moved into a new place, which I am slowly putting together. It's a bed and breakfast out around Gettysburg somewhere. And those of you who've been following, you can find it on Facebook or whatever. But it's a weird, giant geodesic dome, which I'm turning into kind of like a retreat, resort kind of place, where it's very affirming and accepting for people who are part of the community, the LGBT community, as well as the witchy community. And I'm going to eventually be hosting events and stuff here and that kind of stuff. As far as, you know, what's been going on, I've been meeting, connecting and meeting different friends here and there. I've been expanding very much socially, which I have never done. Before, I was pretty much in lockdown when I was technically, I guess, married. I don't know, I guess I'm still married and we're in the process. I'm not sure how that all plays out. I'm not really dating anybody and I don't plan on it. I plan on, you know, kind of easing into it because I've been through so much stuff for a very long time. And, you know, I'm trying to stay away from that for a little bit. But other than that, this is the day after the new moon, and we did I did a new moon reading with Hecate and a great meditation. I do one every time. I did a little, offering rite and all that kind of stuff, and did a big meditative journey and stuff. Which a meditative journey is basically a shamanic journey, but it's slightly different as you're working with different entities and energies and things. And then, of course, you know, this is the day after, or like the day of planning for the month ahead. And I generally do one of these, you know, as an overhead. And so we'll go ahead and draw some cards for myself. I already drew Strength in the World. I have to lean over because it's right behind the computer screen. But I did, Strength and the World for myself, which is really good. And of course, every time I see that card, it reminds me of a friend of mine who has, I guess, moved on. I think she's kind of starting to fall back into her old self. I know she went a little bit wild and crazy, but it is what it is. And of course, you know, this new microphone system, this shout out for my life coach, Vanessa Samina, who is taking care of me and helping me get through my YouTube videos, which, as you can all tell, my channel needs a lot of work, but I'm getting there very well. So let's go ahead and that's our card right there. It almost flipped over. So that's one of our cards. And what I like to do is, this is kind of our overall theme for the month that's coming up. And I see we're going to get one of these two from the Hecate deck. And I can't remember, this is Ken Payne's and Chris Butler's Oracle of the Hecate Path. I had to read the box, which is right over there, in fact. As you can see, we can kind of get it closer. That's where I'm reading from. And this is also kind of part of the theme. I'm not quite sure where our themes are going, but we shall see. And okay, now, come on out of there. Okay, what is the theme for the month, Hecate? I can see you're being hesitant here. Is it that one? Yes, okay. So we got these two, and I don't know if we'll use this deck or not. Again, as you can see, I have my, I do a lot of Aphrodite and Anna readings over here. And then we're going to draw some from this deck. It's kind of like the Lunar Witch deck. We're going to draw cards from here as well. But these are more kind of what's going on for, different parts of the month. So our overall feel is we got the Nine of Wands, as you can see it. And as we can, I'll hold it up for this camera too, so we can see it there. And it came out in reverse. And this is almost like this month, it's going to be a little bit of a lack of focus is what I'm kind of getting. I'm sorry, I have to adjust there. I'm kind of falling out. But I have to, a little bit of a adjustment for the month. So, and there's a lack of focus coming in with this reverse Nine of Wands. And we've got desires, the bearer of love, right here. This is our Hecate card. And, I don't get too many love readings from Hecate. And as we can see, it's got all the genders on there. It's got the, as I point them out here, you can see them on that camera better. But if you look at this camera, you can see them up there across the top of the card. It's got male, female, and multigender, which, my channel is primarily for multigender, but anybody can get information from it. I'm not excluding people. But our desires, and it's going to have a little bit of lack of focus this month. And it seems, I know you want to be focused. I know you're trying to get there. But she's almost saying like, hey, take a little bit of a break. It's okay to not be, so lasered in on your projects, and actually be a little bit more open. Because if you're so lasered in, you're not going to see, and you'll be like, almost like you're wearing blinders. You're not going to be able to see anything on the sides, anything coming at you from the peripheral, any other opportunities that are coming. So that's our overall vibe. She's saying, don't be so laser focused in on these desires that you have. The desires themselves can kind of be misleading, especially if your desires are coming from a place of, somebody else outside of you, which could happen very easily. You see that, Supergirl riding around in her Bentley, looking like she's all that. And you almost get this desire like, oh, I want to be her. Well, that's not you. That's her projecting into you, and you're mirroring your life back to her. What you want to do is, sure, you can look at her and say, gee, I love aspects of what she's got. But you need to internalize them and make them for you. So you may not like Bentleys. You might like Rolls Royces, which are pretty similar. Or you might like Ferraris. Or you might just like, you may not care about cars. Whatever it is for you to get to how you want to be. And that's what we're kind of saying. These desires, make sure they're your desires. Make sure they're not from outside source. And make sure they're not stuck all up here in your ego. Because there's more to desires than pure logic and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot here in these cards. So let's step off. Let's see. Okay, Hecate, give us a little bit about what's going on during the month. The head, we have 28 days. It's always a 28 day. It's that one I saw. It's kind of wonkily twisted itself to the side. There's our first. Okay, here we are back again. Apparently I had my battery ran out. How exciting. Anyway, I just pulled it off the charger too. It's kind of funny. Okay, so where were we? Okay, yes. We are drawing what's going on in the month. And we're only going to get a couple of these, and interesting. She's giving a very ambiguous trust card for everybody. And I see this like, just trust. When this is ready to happen, this will happen for us or you, for a collective, however you want to look at this. And by the way, if you're watching this reading, you're definitely vibing. And look, I got the Hermit coming up, on the bottom of the deck or in the middle, and the Seven of Swords. But let's go ahead and shuffle here a little bit and get a little bit more, maybe it was the Four Swords. Anyway, let's get a little bit more information on this trust card that's coming up this month. And come on now. Okay, it's going to be the one from the top of that and the one from the bottom of that. Another one. She says one more. That one? No, that one? Yes. Okay. And Justice coming up in reverse on the bottom of our deck. And Justice coming out in reverse. It's more of this trust card. It's trust that the universe knows if you need justice or not, if you need balance or not, right? And we have the Eight of Wands, which there's a very actionable thing. Like, now our overall theme is this desire, but with the Eight of Wands coming up, we get this, and of course, yes, we get the Knight of Pentacles coming out with it as well. This Eight of Wands is, you're not going to have to work and really focus on your desires, because they're going to come at you. They're going to go whack and smack you really hard right into you. They're going to burn, I almost get this right onto your solar plexus, right into your heart of your soul here. It's coming up. And look, and we got this, beautiful, there's all kinds of abundance. Basically, I always kind of look at this card and I see it's like it's coming out of your butt. You've got abundance and treasure and money. This is your desires coming true. And yet you're trusting that you don't have to really laser focus in on them. And yes, we got the 5 of Pentacles. And this is the release of this ego trap you've been in, right? You've been in this state of ego holding you back behind this closed door, behind the key. The key's been there all along. You just didn't unlock it. Well, you don't even have to worry about unlocking it. You just trust that the door will open. You don't even have to know the key is there. You don't have to find it and escape yourself. It's going to come at you as long as you don't keep yourself trapped in that prison, because focusing, laser focused on your desires are literally what's putting you into that lock. And once you just have plain old trust, it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen this month. It'll happen sometime in the next, lunar cycle. And it's just going to happen to you. So that's one of the messages. And it kind of really supports our theme quite well. Do we need another one? One more. Boy, it is hot in here. Yeah, I can tell summertime's coming. I can't wait until I get, I just bought myself that mini excavator, and, I just dug in 26 trees, a couple days ago, spent 11 hours digging, digging and shoveling and all that stuff. Oh my God. I was so hurt, but it was definitely good exercise. I build up some of my, my little muscles that I got in here, but it's that time. And so I got to build a camper pad. It's one of the other things with my little excavator. I'm going to dig out and move this whole setup so it's not sitting in the sun cooking and baking in the, the 100-degree weather sun. It will be under a bunch of trees and it will be cooled off much easier. So now I know myself, I'm not going to laser focus on that because I have so many little, yeah. This message is for me as well, by the way, from Hecate, from the universe. It doesn't have to be from Hecate to you. It could just be vibing. So the full moon. This next one is on the full moon. This is the message. You should do this right around the full moon. Boy, that card's a little risque if you look at it. I have a lot of decks where they're naked. In fact, as I look, I see at least 2 naked people on the deck table right now. Oh my goodness. Okay. So here's what you need to do on the full moon. And there's a lot of stuff here, a lot of cards I'm looking through. I see this. There's something in your ear talking to you. It's trying to lead you astray on the full moon. You know what you have to do on the full moon. It's a real magic. We've got, this, you're being led astray. This is the card, there's something in your ear. And then we got, you're losing information. Your knowledge is getting skewed. And look, you even got headaches as it's coming up. So there's this thing, and it's kind of hard to say what it really is. I'll draw one to see what it is in your ear, if it's somebody or something. But there's something leading you astray on the full moon. And you really got to be leery of this. And how are we going to recognize this? Well, you'll start feeling, a little bit like lost. And that's leading you astray. But let's get a little bit, what is this thing that's leading us astray on the full moon? Can you give me a little bit more? Okay. Yes, it has to do with some type of companionship, lovers, exes. It could probably my ex going to lead me astray. But it's going to confuse you. It's going to hurt you a little bit. It's more confusion than pain, though, I see. I mean, you get a little bit of a headache. You get a little bit of stress and ego hurt. But right on the full moon, and what do we need to do to get past this? It's easy enough to say just don't pay attention, but that's probably not it. Usually everything is a 90, as I see, 90 degree. Everything is a 90-degree turn. So if you're in physical pain, you need to stop thinking about the physical and do meditation. If you're in mental or hurt pain, you need to go out into nature. It's usually a 90-degree turn. It's not you know, usually if you're mental stress, using mental techniques don't help you as much. It's kind of strange that way. Anyway, there it is. That's what we need to do. Or this is how we're going to know. So it's going to come at you like a rebirth moment. It's probably going to hit you during your rebirth. So you're going to have a massive glow up or something. And I see this, you know, in your, what do I want to call it? Your mind's eye kind of thing. It's this beautiful glow up that you're doing. And as soon as you start doing this glow up, as soon as you start, you know, stepping into your next version, that is when this confusion, this something's going to come in your ear. Might even be you saying, oh my God, you can't do this. There's no way you can be this glow up. But that's what's happening on the full moon. And to get around that, you know, this is coming from there. And you almost need to do the rebirth. You know, that's what I'm getting. It's around this rebirth time. The stuff's going to come in your ear. And what you need to do is you need to go ahead and do it. You need to embrace that rebirth. Not laser focus on it. You almost need, it's kind of like you need to kind of relax into it, you know? It's kind of a weird concept that you need to chill out into this massive glow up. And that's what I really see around the full moon for you. And it's, you know, and it doesn't happen to happen exactly on the full moon. Actually, full moon energy is about 3 days before and about 3 days after. That encompasses that whole energy. Sure, you get the most potency right out of the day or two, but, or actually it's more out of the night or two. It's harder to draw down the moon in the middle of the day. You can do it, but you don't have to be on a locked schedule. In fact, you don't want to be on a locked schedule. You kind of want to know the moon's coming up, but when you feel it in your heart, when you feel it in your, wherever you trust, most of the times it's in our hearts, then that's when you'll start doing this rebirth. And then there'll be this little voice, especially from like a romantic or partnership. It's going to start going blip, 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 maybe blip, 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 on both sides and yapping at you. You need to focus in on your rebirth and forget all that crud. You know, okay, so that's what I have for our reading. And let's see, any more updates from excitement for me? I'm still working, you know, 80 hours a week on my regular job, which I can't stand. I'm sure if anybody's watching this video from my job, they're going to go crazy anyway, you know. But yeah. So do we have any other real updates? You know, here's a good thing. You know, if you want to know what's going on in my life, or you have a question about spiritual stuff, I know I'm still scheduled to do a shamanic journey and some other classes for you. And now that I got my new microphones, hopefully I can start doing, because the old microphone was horrendous, especially according to my life coach. She was like, instantly, she's like, get a new microphone. Your microphone's no good. I'm like, okay. You know, I had been using the microphone off this, you know, 20-year-old camera here, which is going to get updated too eventually. It's just in this location, I had a hard time mounting it and making it work right. You know, that camera over there is a little bit better. Hopefully the quality, you know, unfortunately we got the big bright lights behind me. It is what it is. So eventually I'll have my studio set up. Hopefully give myself 3 months, I hope. I'll have it completely set up. I keep thinking it's going to be next month. It's going to be next month. Realistically, it's going to be at least another 3 months before I have the thing completely set up and looking beautiful, and I will be beautiful in it. Okay, so if you do have questions, ask in the comments below. Ask anything, you know, especially if you have like spiritual questions or Qi Gong or witchy or even trans questions. If you have transgender questions, you can ask those too. I might do a video reply. I might just reply in the comments. But it gives me something to feed back on and talk to you all about. You know, I'm really good at interacting with people. You know, I don't know, all of you out there who do YouTube videos, you know, interacting with a camera. You know, I almost have to get like a little stuffed animal and put it behind my camera just so I can interact and talk to. In fact, I'm going to do that. Next time I'll see I'll show you my stuffed animal when I do this, once I find it. You know, I had to go through myself. I don't know which animals I have here with me. I might have to put a statue of Hecate. I don't know if you can see, you know, this is my Hecate statue right here. She's, you know, she's in our reading, by the way. She's sitting right here, and actually she's going to go up front. I replaced her with the light aspects. And usually she sits on my altar, and she's going to sit in a different one. And this little baby one here, this is me, always sitting at mother's foot with my, this is my glow-up ring, you know. I put it right here, and it kind of like retroactively has Hecate help me glow up and everything else. So, you know, of course I have my evil eye ring here. Any of you guys trying to send me evil vibes, guess what? I'm protected. And even if you do, guess what? I'm a witch and you probably don't want to do it anyway. So any of those kinds of questions, go ahead and ask questions and like and subscribe. I know everybody's got to say like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. It helps the channel, it helps the community, and you will get some of the future readings and some of the future updates. Okay, that is my video for today, and much love to you all. Have a good one. Bye.